and welcome to episode 90 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate and I am so happy to be back with you guys this week. I have loads of things to share per usual and some pretty exciting finished objects and new whips. It's going to be a pretty jam-packed episode. Today is Saturday, January 29th. It is almost February. This episode will actually launch on Tuesday, February 1st, which is kind of exciting. I have some projects that I'm going to talk about specifically about that. So that's exciting. We'll see how many times I say exciting in this episode. I think it is my word of choice most days, talking about all things yarn, but that's okay. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out all of the links in the description box below because there is links to the show notes for this episode if you need some more details on any of the things I'm about to talk about today. There's links to the Dishcloth Mal and all of the information for that. It's a year-long make-along, super duper simple and flexible. You literally just make as many or as few dishcloths as you would like, and you can join in the Facebook group. It's really, really fun, and I have a new pattern coming out very soon for the month of February, so I'll be talking about that in Design Talk. I'm really excited to share that with you guys, but anyway, you can also find the links to my pattern shops down there and social media platforms. So it's just a really great place to check out. It always is, not just my videos. Like, it's a really handy place for all YouTube creators to just put a whole bunch of content. But anyway, like I said, I have quite a few things to talk about this week. So let's just go ahead and hop into it because I do have a few finished objects to share. Okay, I have two FOs this week that aren't designs, and I am like so pumped about both of them. Well, I guess one of them is more exciting. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. So last week I told you I set the goal to finish my Advent blanket. I had this past week off work, and so I wanted to spend more time just focusing on whips and getting some things done, getting ahead design-wise, doing school, like all of the things. I just had more time to do it all. Even though I missed those two sweet little girls that I watched so much. But anyways, so one of the things that I finished is my Advent blanket. Guys, it's done. I love this thing so much. Like, you know, nothing is perfect. Everything has imperfections. But this, to me, is like as close as it can be to perfect just for me. Like, for the purposes that I want to use it for the yarn that I use, like it was an advent calendar, so just the reason I, or the use that I made, that is not the right way to phrase that, what I made with the advent calendar, I just think it's a really good use of the yarn. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I just love it so much. So some details about this project because I am getting questions about it, and I want to be as clear as possible, but also just be like, it's so simple, guys. Like, I just didn't really think about this project much, and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. So it's not my own design. I learned the technique from somebody else, and then I just did the striping myself and the size. I don't know. If you'd like the pattern, I don't mind writing it up and putting it like for free on my blog. I'm not going to publish it as like a pattern that's my own, like paid on Ravelry, just because it's just not my own technique. And while, you know, you don't necessarily trademark a technique, I still just don't think it's like intricate enough to call it my own pattern. But all of that aside, so I learned the corner to corner granny square crochet technique through a blog called Fiber Flux. So you can check that out if you're interested. I just used her tutorial, like her blog post, and then I went from there. So I figured out the basics, and then I took it on myself to, you know, do all the stripes, add all of the colors. I added a border. I put a gray stripe between each like advent color so you can really see it on like the high contrast. So like this purple was one day, and then I added this gray stripe, and then I did the next day, which was this red, obviously. So that's kind of what I mean by that. I think it really helps make the whole project very cohesive and less just like crazy with all of the different colors. I don't love like super crazy colorful things. At least not like to wear. Like this outfit is pretty crazy. but I love it. So that's kind of the extent. Like, I would wear a sweater like this, I think, but it would have to be with, like, you know, black leggings or something really simple. So I'm just going to use it so much more as a blanket. And then as a blanket, I'm going to love it if it has, like, a gray or a neutral to kind of bring it all together. So that was my thought behind that. So I just increased for the first 5 days. For the first 12 days. And then for the second 12, totaling 24 days, I decreased. So that's how big it is. I also tried to match the amount of rows that I did. So, like, for example, if on day 5 down here, I did 6 rows, on the corresponding day on the opposite side, I also did 6 rows. Just to make it the same size, because it can be easy to get just a little bit mixed up. And I wanted it to be even. So that's what I did for that. And then for the border, I just did 3 rows of just the granny stitch all the way around it. I really like the way that it looks. I, again, think it just brings it all together. I was originally thinking that I was going to make, like, a much wider border. But after I finished, like, 2 rows, I just realized that I think I would like it more if it was narrower. So that's what I did. I just did 3 rows. I think it, if it would have been too wide, I think it would have detracted from the actual center, which is all of these diagonal colors, obviously. So I love the way that it looks. It's actually going to live on this chair in my room. I think it's going to look great. It's kind of the perfect weight to just throw over yourself, like, any time of the year. It's fingering weight, very light and drapey. I used a 4.5mm hook, so I got a great loose gauge. Yeah, I just love this project. I love everything about it. I think that if I were to receive an advent calendar again, which me and Eden are talking about, which Eden from Crafting Quick and Made, that is where this advent calendar came from. We swapped this last December. I think if we were to do that again this upcoming December, this year, I think I'll make the same exact thing again, because I just love it so much. And like I said, it was so much fun to make. I also learned throughout this December that if I want to keep up with this, like, every single day, I need to be more intentional about it and have it be, like, my main project for that month, which is great to know ahead of time, because I can get, you know, all of the gifts that I'm going to be making this Christmas done ahead of time, which would be beneficial for us all. So that's my plan. But yeah, I absolutely love this blanket, and I am pumped that it is now complete. Okay, my next FO is like nothing compared to that blanket, but it's my dishcloth for the week. So I am challenging myself to make a dishcloth every single week. I'm actually ahead right now, so I'm kind of just, you know, being a little bit relaxed with it. But I made this one this week. I used Dishy Twist, and I actually have the ball right here because I knew I was going to forget the color. This is the colorway Mulberry. So it is twisted with a white. And it's like a really pretty kind of deep eggplant purple. And yeah, I really like it. Dishy Twist is one of my absolute favorites. I just love the way that it looks. So, and I threw it down, but oh well. Anyway, this is what the dishcloth looks like. I just used my 2022 knit dishcloth pattern. It's free on all of the places. And yeah, I really like it. It was soothing to make as always. So that is all of my FOs. I do have a few fun things to talk about for designs, but, well, actually, let me talk about this one, because this pattern is now released. So when you're watching this, this pattern would have released yesterday, January 31st, and it is the Worsted Brilliant Beanie. So this is a free pattern. It goes along with the Brilliant Beanie, which released just a couple weeks ago. And the Brilliant Beanie is the fingering weight version. This is obviously the worsted weight. I'll be having more weights come out in this line later this year is my plan right now. It might be sooner, but I'm thinking it'll wait a little bit. I have, like, this is one of those collections that I just have ready to go. I need to make the samples and get pictures. But other than that, the patterns are done. So yeah, I'm really excited about this collection. So definitely check out the worsted weight version. It is so quick. For this specific hat, I used Knit Picks Twill. There's a hair. Knit Picks Twill. I forgot the colorway name. It's like Hunter or something like that, but that's not right. I don't know. I don't remember, but it's like a really deep, beautiful green. I love this colorway so much. And Knit Picks Twill is just one of my favorite yarns to begin with. But definitely check out this pattern if you haven't already. I love it. I love how it turned out, and I hope that you guys do too. It's very beginner friendly. So if you're a newish knitter, I highly recommend giving it a shot. You can totally knit a hat. If you can do the knit stitch and the purl stitch, you can knit a hat for sure. So yeah. really love this pattern and project, and I'm excited that it is out into the world now. Okay, so that is actually it for all of my FOs. I do have a couple of fun, actually a few. How many do I have? Two. I have 2 works in progress that aren't designs going on right now. So let's go ahead and chat about those. Okay, so before we hop into works in progress, a little tangent. I am trying a new hairstyle, and I don't know how I feel about it. Well, I'm welcoming any thoughts, any and all thoughts, even if they aren't like the kindest, because I need to know if it doesn't look great. I don't know. I got this new like hair contraption, and I think I like it. I'm not the greatest at using it. I'm gonna watch some like videos and tutorials and things, but I don't know. I think I like it. We'll see. Anyways, moving on, my first work in progress is my efficient cardigan. So this is a project that I am working out on throughout this month. I have all of the yarn in this basket because it's all in one place, and I very much am enjoying that setup. So I'm done with the body of this. I'm really excited about this project. So I am participating in the hashtag No Shades of Grey challenge over on Instagram with Hobie Yarn. And it is so much fun. And looking at the hashtag is so fun because it's just so bright and colorful. And I know that sometimes January can just be a pretty blue month. It's gray in a lot of areas. I would say in Alabama it's still pretty sunny. But in a lot of areas around the world it's just gray and kind of cold and dreary. But this challenge just kind of, you know, gets you out of your comfort zone, makes some colorful projects, and it is so fun. So I am making another sample of my efficient cardigan, which is one of my own designs. It's a super simple cardigan pattern. It goes along with the recently released efficient pullover. So yeah, my intention behind both of those designs is just to create a couple of patterns that are specifically geared towards beginner crocheters so that they can show themselves, that they can make a garment, and then that it doesn't have to be complicated, because it truly isn't. And that is just my mission as a designer, to be able to inspire and encourage others, no matter what skill level they are, to make some really cool and useful things. So anyway, I'm making another sample of this cardigan because I love it just as a pattern, and that is like not me trying to be boastful at all. I just really like it because it's simple and I can do it easily and quickly. But here is what my cardigan looks like. I'm going to flip it over so it is the right side. It doesn't really matter, but I don't know. There's a slight difference, I guess. So here is what the body looks like. I do need to add the, there's like a hem that goes all the way around the collar and the base of the cardigan. And I do need to do that. So I'm going to add that on. Also, I did all of the seaming in the white yarn. And there are a couple places, like right here, where you can see it that I don't love. So I'm going to try to cover those up. I might take back and seam that section with the purple. I haven't decided yet. But as a whole, the body is done, which is really exciting. So again, here's what it looks like. It's kind of a vest right now, which kind of makes me think, like, I think I should make an efficient vest. I think that would be really cool. But this one will be a full-on cardigan. I'm striping 2 colors, but I'm going to add a third in the sleeves, which I am pretty excited about. I'm using Hobie Amigo yarn. This is the chunky line, and I'm obsessed with this yarn. I want to make like a blanket in it. I want to make another sweater. I'm actually planning to make a sweater by 2 of Wands that she just released with this yarn in 2 other colors. So I'm really excited about that. Definitely stay tuned for progress on that project, because I'm hoping to start it soon-ish. But like I said, this is Hobie Amigo. It's 100% acrylic, but I absolutely love the way that it feels. Like, it's really soft. I also really love the spin. It's a pretty tight spin, and I just think it looks really nice, and it's gonna show wear, show less wear, I guess, which is, I think, a really good perk with acrylic yarn. But I'm using this cream color, which is the number 2. There's no name on the label. They do have names on the website, but not on the labels. Anyway, so this is colorway number 2. And then, I don't think I have a color. It might be in this bin behind my chair, but I don't have a color of a new skein of the pink to show. And I don't remember the colorway name, so I apologize for that. But I do think I mentioned it in last week's episode, so episode 89 if you want to check that out. But then this color is what I'm going to be adding in for the sleeves, and it is number 25. So it's a really pretty kind of like, I don't know, greenish teal, maybe. It's really beautiful. I love, love, love this colorway. Kind of matches my sweater, or my sweatshirt right now. Anyway, so I'm really excited about this project. It's going great. It's going super quick. And I am definitely looking forward to wearing this because I think it is exactly what I need in my wardrobe. Like, bright and cheerful, but also very cozy and warm. So anyway, I think I'm hoping to have this done by next week. I think I can make that happen. So hopefully this will be an FO next time we chat. Anyway, so that is the first work in progress. Then the second one is a sample. So I'm going to actually take this away so that it's less distracting. And this is also being kept in a basket because, like I said, it is just so nice to be able to like carry this around and split everything out in one basket and not worry about anything being, you know, squished or wrinkled, or anything like that. It's really nice. Okay, so this is a sample for Originally Lovely yarns. So Caitlin has an Instagram handle called Originally Lovely, and with that she designs patterns. She has them free on her blog. She's absolutely amazing. Like, she's been an inspiration of mine for a very long time. And it's so cool to be able to connect with her through, and so many other amazing makers, I might add, through Instagram. Like, it's just a really beautiful community. She has recently launched Originally Lovely yarn. So right now a bunch of people, including myself, are making samples with this yarn to kind of help promote this new company and just show some of the beautiful things that can be created with this yarn. And I am so honored to have the opportunity to be one of her sample makers. So I am making a crocheted sweater. I don't have the pattern printed out or a picture, and I'm not far along in this project. So this specific episode is not going to be very helpful in talking about this sweater, I don't think, but I can at least talk about the yarn, which is really cool, and show my swatch, which is going to give you a better idea of what this project is actually going to look like. So I am using her Pura line. Here's what one of the balls looks like. One of my favorite things about this company already is just how eco-friendly it is and how intentional every little piece of it is. And I think that is so beautiful, because I feel like as makers we can just appreciate those little things that mean so much but take a lot more time and effort to make happen or to create. And it's really beautiful to be able to appreciate that, but then also to experience it firsthand, you know, using the product. So anyway, this is this is Pura, Originally Lovely Pura. It's 100% superfine merino wool. It is so soft, like so soft. I am obsessed with this yarn already. It has a loose spin, which I have actually already been asked if it's hard to knit or crochet with because it is a loose spin. Sometimes with yarns like this, they can be easy to split, which is a pretty frustrating feature for a yarn. I think we can all understand and relate to that. But I have had zero splitting issues with this yarn. I would also suggest that it can be easier to split depending on the tools that you're using. So if you're using a crochet hook with like a really sharp head or a knitting needles with sharp tips, I would definitely say that it's easier to split yarn. So keep that in mind. Sometimes it's not just the yarn's fault, sometimes it can be the tool's fault too. And there's nothing wrong with either of those two things. It's just important to realize both of them. But anyway, here's a close-up of what the yarn looks like. I don't know if it's going to focus on the individual fibers very well, but it is such a beautiful yarn, and I'm having so much fun crocheting with it already. So I'm using quite a few colors. This white is going to be my main or base color, and then I'm adding in each of these contrast colors, and I'm going to share their names in just a second after I get them all lined up. I also want to get the names correct, so I'm going to grab the labels if I need to. I'm going to grab the labels because I don't think I'm going to be able to say them all accurately. I apologize for all of the paper crinkles. Okay, where is the... Okay, this one, let's get all of them because, again, that's natural. This one is called... Okay, so this green is called Moss. Such a beautiful green. And these are all going to make much more sense when I share my swatch in just a second. So, bear with me. This is the colorway Moss. This one, the white is natural. I already mentioned that. So, it's like a it's just a really beautiful white. It's like not super bright. It's definitely got some kind of off-white to it as well, which is my favorite. I really love the creaminess. This red is Gournay, I think is how you pronounce that. And then the yellow and the orange is what I don't want to get mixed up, and I think it's what would happen. So let's grab this other label, even though it is securely stuck. That's what I thought. Okay, this one is called Dijon. So kind of like Dijon mustard, which I love mustard, random fact. So I can fully appreciate this color. I think it is the most gorgeous mustard yellow. My favorite shade personally. And so I am obsessed with it. I need like a whole sweater in just this color. And then this one is called Spice. So these are the two that I didn't want to get mixed up, but obviously they make sense. So this is kind of like pumpkin spice, Dijon mustard, moss green, gournay, red. Like it all makes sense, which I love. Okay, so I am making the Seasons Change sweater, and here's my swatch. So I have started the project. I am literally like 4 rows exactly into it, because me and Caitlin went back and forth quite a bit on just modifications that we're going to make to the sweater, add length, change up the colors just a little bit. So that just took a little bit of time to get all figured out. So now I'm ready to go and get chugging along on this project. I will have much more progress to share next week. But here is the swatch. So basically this is going to be the bottom of the body of the sweater, front and back, and then also the sleeves. So it's very oversized, very cropped. The sleeves are also very oversized, kind of like a bell shape, which I think is super cute for this design. And then once you repeat the color sequence a couple of times, you will go into just white up at the top, which I think is just a really beautiful feature. So again, here is my swatch. The color, like just the texture and the pattern is so fun and very, very simple. Yeah, I love it. So I'm really excited to get further into this project and just get working on it. It's really simple, like I said, so it's definitely not, like mentally a challenge. It's not, which I think is really good, especially in the season of life with everything being so crazy, but I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, definitely stay tuned for more progress next week because it will be much further along than 4 rows. That is for sure. Okay, but those are the only 2 projects that I am currently working on that aren't designs. I will be starting some new things soon, so I thought I would go ahead and mention a couple of things. My brother and sister have birthdays in March, so I'm going to be starting their socks way ahead of time. You should be proud of me. I'm being proud of myself for just being that far planning ahead wise. But I actually got them to choose their yarn because I'm not only making them socks, I'm gonna gift them something else too, so I'm okay with them kind of knowing and expecting it. I'm gonna be making these socks using this yarn for my brother. This is Barocco socks. They're 75-25 base. Yeah, I really think those colors are super cool, and they're gonna be some really nice looking socks. And then this one for my sister, this is, I think you pronounce it Kramer, sterling silk and silver. So it's 63% superwash merino wool, 20% silk, 15% nylon, and 2% silver poly. So it's a really cool blend. And this is what it looks like. So it's super sparkly. I think you can tell a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to be starting those really soon. And then I'm also going to be making myself some socks for just kind of like a Valentine's Day themed. So I'm going between a few different colorways right now. Haven't quite decided what I want to make yet, just colorway wise. So stay tuned for next week because I'll be sharing that then. But yeah, so that's it for works in progress and a couple of things coming up. I do have 3 designs that I would love to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Alrighty, so like I mentioned, I have 3 designs that I want to chat about today. 2 pairs of socks and 1 new dishcloth. So I'm really excited about all of these projects. Okay, the first, I'm going to share the socks at the same time because these aren't going to release on the same day, but they're going to release very close together because it is the same general pattern, just 2 different weights. So these are going to be called the Sprinkle socks, and I am obsessed with that name. I am so excited that it is not taken on Ravelry. It is almost taken. Like there's like sprinkles and it's a sock pattern. It's just called Sprinkles. There's like sprinkled with a D socks. It's like super close, but I have not found a pattern that is just called Sprinkle Socks. So that makes me very happy. But anyway, so this is the finger weight version. This is a very simple pattern. It's the pattern that I designed for my dad's birthday earlier this month, which went over very well, and I got like a bunch of questions about it. People were really excited about it, which makes me very happy. But yeah, I just haven't got around to actually releasing the pattern yet and making my own samples to model. So here's the finger weight version. It's a super simple pattern. It's perfect for any self-striping yarn, which was definitely my intent behind it. The front half of the sock, the front half of the stitches, if that makes sense, is in the pattern. The second half is not, and it's like super simple. Like it can even be sometimes hard to tell that it's not just a stockinette sock, but it adds like just the right amount of interest to kind of keep you entertained, but also still mindless. So here is the first finger weight sock sample. I did contrast heels, toes, and cuffs, which is Dove Heather Stroll, and then the stripes is Nitpicks Felici and the colorway Vegas Baby, which that name just, I can't say it with a straight face. Like, it's just funny. But I really like the color combo. I think it's super cute and fun. I was in between a couple of different Felici colors, and I shared it on Instagram, and the poll was like so close as it always is, which is just hilarious. But this one overall won, so that's what I decided to go with, and I'm really glad I did, because I really, really like the way that it looks. And then the second sock is the worsted weight version. And again, I used worsted Felici, so Felici has a finger weight line and a worsted weight line, which I love, and this pattern is going to be written for both. So like I said, you can use any self-striping yarn. I myself will of course be using yarns other than Felici in the near future, but I just thought I would design them both in this yarn since it's so widely known, and you know what I have the most of, like stash wise. But here's the worsted weight version. I don't remember the colorway name, but I think I have it in here. Let me look in this bag. Yes, I do. Okay, so I think this is the colorway. Is it Palm Springs? Yes, Palm Springs. So it's like really pretty pink tones with some like rust orange in there too. And then I actually held Stroll double for the heels, toes, and cuffs to result in a worsted weight. And it's the colorway Ash in Stroll. So again, really like this combination. I'm really, really excited about both of these patterns, and I hope that you are too. I can't wait to release them. They will be coming out in February. I don't have like a specific date picked out yet, but they will be soon. And yeah, I'm very excited about them. So those have been really, really fun to work on. I'm really loving making socks recently because they're the perfect project to work on while I'm reading. One of my goals this year is to read more and just to get better about knitting and reading at the same time, or better at it. And I've been successful so far, so that makes me really happy. And socks is just kind of the perfect project because I don't have to look at my needles. So yes, that is that. And then the next design that I'm working on, and this is releasing this week, so I am super pumped about this, but it is a heart-shaped crocheted dishcloth, and I'm going to show you the samples that are actually correct, how the pattern is going to be written and how the pattern is written currently. And that is for these three. So this is just a super simple crocheted dishcloth pattern that results in the cutest heart shape. I am just so excited about this pattern. And sometimes I share this on Instagram, and I think sometimes it's like the smallest designs that just teach you how much you're growing as a designer, and it's really cool to experience. But anyway, so here is one up close. Like I said, this pattern will be coming out later this week. I will have a full video tutorial to go along with it, and then it will be free. Yeah, so I'm loving it. I use Dishy for all of these. This one's my favorite because it's like very Valentine's Day-esque, which, you know, Valentine's Day is not my favorite holiday, and to be honest, it can be a hard holiday, you know, when you don't have somebody to spend it with yet in that way, but it's cool to just be able to enjoy it in other ways, and this is one of the ways that I'm doing that this year. But here's what it looks like. Now, I was not successful at first, let me tell you, and that's kind of why it just matters that it's how I want it to be now, I guess. This is like the first sample. The ends aren't woven in. And the ends were curling inside, so I knew it wasn't going to be the final one, and I figured out a way to avoid that, which I explained better in the tutorial, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, so that was like the first edition of it. And then this one was like super close, but not quite there, so I think I was like off a few stitches or something, so I didn't even, finish it. And then this one, I added an extra row in the middle, and I like the way that it looks without it much better. So anyway, I'm excited about this pattern. I hope that you guys are too. I think it's going to be a really fun addition to just my dishcloth patterns already. And like I said, perfect for this month. So I'm excited about it. And again, all of the information for the Dishcloth Make-A-Long for this year is down in the description box below. So if you'd like to join us, it's never too late. You can join anytime. And like I said, make as few or as many dishcloths as you like. But it's a really cool community to already be a part of. So we are having a blast. Alrighty, that is it for all of my knit and crochet content for this episode. I do have a little devotional to share, and then of course a life update, so I hope that you stick around for that. So for devotional this week, I wanted to talk about a song, and it is a song that I have been listening to constantly just this week. I think I have probably mentioned it before because it definitely wasn't the first time I've listened to it. But it's called Dream Small by Josh Wilson, and it is linked in the show notes if you want to just watch like the lyric video on YouTube. I love this song, and I think that when you first hear the title or see it written somewhere, it can be really confusing because it kind of goes against what we're taught in society, and I don't like it. Doesn't really. But the underlying message of this song is to not have big goals, it's not telling you not to dream big, it's not telling you not to have really awesome and big things to reach for and to work towards, but it's reminding you to not take for granted the little moments in between. One of the lyrics that's my favorite in this song, and I'm going to try to quote it correctly, but it's okay, it says something along the lines of, it's okay to have bigger dreams, but just don't miss the minutes on your way to bigger things. And I love that line in the song. And I think it's so applicable to where I am in life currently. I'm currently in college. I'm of course, running and maintaining this business and have a job that I dreamed and prayed about for so long. And it's just a really beautiful season of life. And in a lot of ways, it can be really hard too. Like I have big goals, big dreams, if you will, in life that just haven't quite happened or even started yet. And I think it can be really hard to just be in a pit of thinking those thoughts. But at the same time, there's certain parts of this season that I wish could never end. And I think instead of always reaching towards the next thing, to be in the moment, to be right here, right now, is really special and something that I think we can all benefit from, for sure. And that's not to say that, things aren't perfect right now. Things will never be perfect because perfect can't be achieved by anyone except Jesus. But I think it's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful song. It's a really beautiful message. I love every single lyric. And once again, so many times I hear a worship song like this that is so powerful. And sometimes it seems like the songwriter doesn't even understand how powerful it is. And of course they do. They wrote it, or they're at least singing it, and they're singing it in such a way that it makes the message come through. So they do realize how powerful it is. But it's really cool how it can just relate so clearly to where you are in a season of life or where you hope to be, if it's a different genre of song. But it's really cool. So I definitely recommend giving it a listen if you haven't already. Again, it is linked in the show notes, which are linked down below. So there you go. And of course you can look it up on Google too. It'll come right up. Dream Small by Josh Wilson. A really great song. I love all of his songs. But that one specifically I have just loved listening to and keeping in my mind this week. In terms of a life update, it has been a pretty good week. Like I mentioned earlier, I had the week off of work, but everything that was supposed to happen, just the purpose of that week off happened, and it was so beautiful for that sweet little family that I babysit for. I treasure them so much. So anyway, that was really beautiful just to kind of witness secondhand. I wasn't obviously involved in the process, but it was really cool to just be able to hear about it afterwards. It was also my papa's birthday this past week, so we celebrated that with him, which was really special. I gifted him his socks, which were so well received, which is really cool. Let's see, what else? I have been getting a little more into hand lettering. It's just really fun to be able to be creative in a different way. I am by no means very good at it right now, but I hope to improve. And it's been really fun. I'll have to share a couple of things that I've done maybe next week's episode if they have improved at all. I have messed up a lot. Let's just say that. But I've done a couple of good, cool, I don't know what the right term, better things, I guess. And it's been really fun, like I said, to just use creativity in a different way. I think it's really important to have different outlets to show that side of yourself, and especially like with maintaining everything, the Graceful Tangle, and designing as like a job and wanting to do it, you know, as a career and to make an income from it. That's really important, but I think it's also important to have something outside of that to use those same, just those creativity things that need to be used, those creativity emotions. So like baking and cooking is one of those ways, but then also lettering and painting, like little things like that. Anyway, school has been good. I am able to get ahead in a couple of my classes, which feels so nice. I have had some really tough assignments in one specific class that I am not really enjoying, but it's all for a bigger purpose, to learn the content, of course. And so that alone, just to see that happening, is cool, and I am obviously very grateful for that. I am working on things, you know, past college, either transferring or moving on to something else in a career. So that is definitely nerve-wracking and a little bit stressful. I am not gonna lie, and a lot of it is just like, you know, there's so many questions, and I was in the same situation in 2020 with graduating high school and then moving on to college. So it's really hard to just be able to just be experiencing those same things again, or similar things. But it's been better this time around because I have grown a lot through these past couple of years of college. I'll be graduating in early August, so I am so excited for that day. That is for sure. Anyway, I think that is it for episode 90. I cannot believe we're on 90, but it's a really fun way to enter a new month. That is for sure. So I hope that you are having such a great week and that you continue to do so. I hope you are making all of the things that bring you so much joy, and I would love to hear about them. So definitely let me know in the comments below what you are working on, or send me an email. The address is linked down below as well. I would love to hear about what you're working on. I want to get excited with you because apparently that is the word, like I said, that I use with all the things relating to this art. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos, because I have quite a few fun ones coming up soon. And thank you so much for watching and being here. I am so grateful for you. Until next time, happy making. Bye.